Hello, and thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Behind the GAVL podcast, a legal marketing podcast serving law firms across the country. I'm your host, Ryan Raplee, and today we're joined by Ric Perez, Senior Vice President at Strategic Capital. Ric has been with Strategic Capital for more than 16 years, working with injury victims, structured settlement recipients, lottery winners, and their advisors as they navigate major financial decisions after settlement. I've had the privilege of getting to know Ric over the years, and he's just an all-around great guy, and I'm excited for today's conversation because we're covering everything from structured settlements and responsible post-settlement funding to the recent industry conversation sparked by John Oliver's segment. We'll also talk about ethics, where the industry is headed, and Ric's work with Paws For Justice. Ric, thank you for being here.
Thank you for that incredible introduction, Ryan. It's nice to see you over the camera here. It's been a while since we've been in the same room, but I'm looking forward to seeing you next month.
Yeah, I can't wait. We have the AAJ convention coming up in the end of July, one of the staple conferences we go to every year. I've been going since 2017. How long have you been going since?
Oh,
been doing this for a while.
Let's go back to 2007.
2007. Wow.
Yeah. So I'm coming up on.
Yeah, I was in college. I was failing my way out of some early college experiences, which all worked for a reason because it then led me on to, graduating with honors from Rochester Institute of Technology and all that stuff. But I was not even thinking about ever being on a podcast, talking to you, working with lawyers like crazy. So that is some time ago.
Yeah, that's it's funny where life takes you, and it's always interesting to meet people you resonate with. And I remember us resonating in that barn. So
yeah,
with Tracy,
absolutely.
With our dear friend Tracy Wagner.
Ah, yes, we love Tracy and Forge. Tell us a little bit for anyone that doesn't know you, Ric, and I'm guessing a lot of the folks that are going to hear this that have seen you and have talked to you and know you, but there may be some that do not know you. Tell us a little bit about your background and what led you to where you are today.
Sure. Well, I started in banking at 15 years old.
Oh, wow.
My dad going in to sign a car loan with the local bank, and it was beginning of summer, and he was signing the loan papers. The president of the bank goes, "You got any job openings for a 15-year-old?" And he said, "As a matter of fact, we do. It got us, we need somebody in the mailroom." So I started in banking, and I'll accelerate it. But working through the bank, starting in the bank in the mailroom, I had, it was a customer service counter. It was a old-fashioned bank. It was way back when the checks were live and they were kept in this machine conveyor belt.
Interesting.
And these little old ladies would come in and said, "I want to see the check I wrote to Safeway," and so you'd have to, I'm just doing mail in the back room, but I'm behind the scenes. So I kept hearing all this, picking it up. And I'm the only man working in the back room of the bank, only male.
Wow.
And I'm carrying mail, bank statements out to the postman to pick up. And this little lady's banging on the bell. "Young man, help me." And I'm like, oh my God. And there was nobody around. So I did. And out of the corner of my eye, I see my supervisor watching me. And she goes, "You did that really well. You're going to be really good with people. How would you like to come full-time to customer service?" So I did. So I escalated through banking rapidly. And I always worked at a bank while going to college. And then when I got out of college, went to Colorado State, and I had worked for the same bank company, which is now Wells Fargo. But back in the early day, it was United Banks.
Okay.
And when I was in my college years, I went to work in private banking, and I specialized in lawyers and doctor startups. So if you were a new lawyer,
how long ago was this?
This was 40 years ago.
Okay. So you've been really working with lawyers specific, like for 40
A
Wow.
long time.
Yeah.
I know a lot of the Colorado lawyers have been, they're family, they're friends because we grew up together, but I've known them a long time. And so when I went into this side of the business, it was an easy transition because I had a network
Yeah.
of people who trusted me and knew how I ethically handled things. And things, it was in 2007, everything collapsed and I was laid off. I was unemployed for a couple of years, which was okay. It helped me just kind of, all right, what do I want to do?
Mm-hmm.
And an old friend popped up and he said, I've got this lawyer convention. I've seen you in sales. Would you just show up? I'll pay you a couple of $1,000s for the weekend. And I'm like, I could use a couple of $1,000.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I did it and they made me an offer. They said, how would you like to come aboard? And this was pre-settlement funding, which there are products in the legal industry like pre-settlement funding, like factoring, that are that kind of feeling that people get.
Yeah.
Not unlike the way the public feels about lawyers.
Yeah.
Right. So I try to always approach with lawyers. Look, I know how you feel. I know people treat you. It's we have the same situation, but there are good lawyers and there are bad lawyers, just like there are good factoring companies and bad factory companies. So I worked in pre-settlement, and that was a really difficult industry.
Yeah, very difficult. I just had Brian Grelly on for a little while, and he's one of the pioneers in that industry, as you know, and really genuinely good dude. He kind of reminds me of you when it comes to, hey, this is a business. There is a big need for this, and it can be really abused, but we need people that are doing it the right way. And facilitating it the right way. And I put you two in that kind of same bucket. So if anyone ever came to me as like, hey, I need structured settlement or pre-settlement, I'd be like, hey, these are my two people that I would go to.
I appreciate that. And I totally concur because I think Brian's one of the best guys in the industry that I will often, refer business to him because we get the same call. I need money. They just don't know where they are in the process. Some people are still haven't gotten their settlement, and some people have settled. So there has to be a network of a mechanism to help people because these are really difficult times for many, many people.
Yeah.
And with all the challenges in the judicial system and the courts, it's just insane. I mean, I'll share stories, I'm sure, throughout, why this is becoming such an important industry to pay some attention to and have somebody you can trust.
Yeah, I think it's very important. I need real quick, Rick, I need to go back because my mind is still blown. So this little old lady's in the bank knocking on the window. They used to keep the checks on a conveyor belt after they were cashed.
Yeah.
So you have like a history.
Yeah. So there would be Ryan Raplee and your account number, address. And so every check that you used to write at a store went through the federal bank system, came back to the bank, and it took 7 to 10 days for a check that you write to settle, to actually come out of your account. Not like today where Cash App, boom, it's there.
Instantly. Wow.
Yeah.
So why would people go to the bank to re-see their check? Just to like balance their checkbook or something? Or
exactly. They balance their checkbook. They needed proof of payment. Could be a myriad of things.
How long would that stick on the belt for?
It was every 30 days.
Okay.
Your checks were kept for 30 days, and then the statement was sent out with your checks.
That's wild.
And so if you needed the check during that cycle, the current cycle, you had to come into the bank.
That's crazy. Wow. I never knew that. That blew my mind right there.
I am really dating myself at a lot of these layers.
Talk about the olden days. It's funny because my daughter, she's 6, and she's like, man, we're watching a show from we'll watch like Seinfeld or something. She's like, so that's what it was like in the olden days. I was like, oh, man.
Olden days.
Oh, it's so funny.
Right?
Ouch. So for our listeners who may be unfamiliar, which I'm sure everyone probably knows listening to this, but what exactly is a structured settlement?
Okay, a structured settlement is a settlement that comes out of a lawsuit, and most likely an injury. Our most common settlements come from our car accidents. So
Okay.
when you're hit, your insurance policy should cover everything that you need. If you get hit by a commercial truck, all of a sudden the policy limits are much higher. So it usually goes into settlement, depends on your injuries. Some can be, minor, and some can be catastrophic. And it's usually the catastrophic ones that get structured really well to take care of them. And a structured settlement is designed to take care of your needs from that accident. So if you've been impaired in any way, you're going to need therapy, you're going to need surgeries down the road. All of this is taken into account. So there, as you well know, like you mentioned earlier, Forge, there's a number of incredible brokers around the country. And I'm blessed and honored to work with many of them. And I have a very nice reputation with most of them. And so I feel like I'm one of the older guys in the industry. So I'm kind of the go-to guy to ask questions. And I always tell the client up front, I will tell you up front, if this is not a good deal for you.
Yeah.
My competitor is not going to tell you that.
Yeah.
So the structured settlement is to set you up with payments, take care of you. But life changes. We all know that. And that's the problem. Well, actually, it's not a problem. It's actually one of our main marketing lines. Life changes. So when life does change and that payment structure that's coming in no longer works, or you're going to get married, you want to buy a house, things change. I often will see 18 to 21-year-olds that have had structures for whatever reason. When those, life events, school, marriage, divorce, illness, all of those things disrupt any payment, stream. Whether you're just working regularly, if you're lucky enough to have savings, great, but not everybody does, The majority of people
A lot of these folks can't work now after they've gone through
absolutely
this incident. Yep.
And so it's really important for lawyers to work with trusted sources and know them out there. Too often, it's not only lawyers and the broker, it's exclusive to the lawyers and the brokers, because the client has been set up, given money, probably a lump sum in cash in the beginning, and now payments should be coming in, taking care of them. Something's changed. Many times the client is embarrassed to go back to their lawyer or the broker. They're like, I failed, I didn't do this right. So when it's 2 a.m. and they're worried about how they're going to make rent or the mortgage payment or the kids' tuition payment, they're up late night television, and here comes J.G. Wentworth ads.
Yeah.
And screaming, Norwegians, they want their money now. And so what's sad is that it's effective.
It's very effective, because I remember as a kid, not even knowing what J.G. Wentworth is, and then you hear the jingles. It's the same thing with Larry David, always brings it up on Curb Your Enthusiasm as a joke.
And what's really crazy, Ryan, is when people ask me, so explain structure, what do you do? What is a factoring company? You know what I use? I go right to TV. I said, do you watch television? Do you hear that song? I have a structured settlement and I need cash now, called J.G. Wentworth. I do exactly what they do, but I do it the right way. That's what I tell people.
Yep.
And when I tell people, do your own investigation. If you're going to shop, I respect shopping. But if your attorney sent you to me, that's trust right there, because he knows I'm going to take care of you. But I'll go beyond that. I'll tell people, put in your browser, J.G. Wentworth complaints.
Yep.
Boom. And I want you to do the same thing, strategic capital complaints. There is one, strategic capital construction comes up first. And people say, I found one on you. No, you didn't. It's not us.
Well, maybe we need to help you out with some SEO on that. So that doesn't happen. Yeah, I mean, so this whole thing is so, It is a massive need because I can imagine myself if I was in those shoes where, okay, I got catastrophically injured. I'm getting a structure. My settlement is say $3 million, and I want to make sure that lasts me for my life and takes care of all my stuff. So it does go into this long thing where I get payments all the time coming in. But then all of a sudden that life event does happen where, you know what? I need a car. Why
Exactly.
uh, get a loan out from the bank or whatever when I could get cash and take care of some of these things? And that's where I can come to somebody like you and say, hey, you'll give me some of my money up front now, where then you'll take some of those payments over time. So you're basically becoming your businesses, the brokers becoming the person who is purchasing those payments down the road.
Exactly.
Big need, in
Exactly.
my opinion. And to go to someone who is in it for the right reason and doing it ethical, um, I think that is really a need, and I think you do a great job. But then it is a shame where the TV advertisers, JG Wentworth and stuff, really go after the folks who I hate to say it, but just like Dollar General, where they're going into these areas where it's underserved, underprivileged, and they get preyed upon. I hate to say it, but they
Exactly.
do.
Yeah,
Um,
you'll be able to see that in their marketing, and that's why they advertise in the middle of the night.
yep.
The majority of their ads run at night, and that's when people are up, worried, and
Are up.
watching.
Yeah. Yeah. You know,
So
this but this is now like a big topic of discussion in the industry. And in my opinion, I haven't seen a whole lot of discussion on this over the last forever, really, of the as mainstream as it is now of the discussion of this. And a lot of that is because of John Oliver's segment
sure,
on HBO. I do think it's a great show. I think John's hilarious. I watch his show a lot. He brings up some big things. So he really dives in, and his team dives into structured settlements, talks about JG Wentworth, talks about all these things of the Vikings singing these songs. Like, what does this even mean? It doesn't, but it gets in your head. It gets trapped. It's subliminal messaging. It's top of mind. It really works. So it sparked a lot of conversations in the legal community. I guess, where do you think your industry, or what can you do now to change some of this narrative? I wonder if JG Wentworth has seen a negative hit. I wonder what's going on, and where do you think you need to go, and what do you think you need to do?
well, I'm blessed to say, and very proud to say, we've always been on the right side of this. So we've
Right.
always worked with NASTA, which is the National Structured Settlement Trade Association, with SSP. There's a number of of them out there, of organizations of brokers that have organizations that either restrict factoring, that or they want uh, some guardrails. And I feel honored that I've been on panels. I've been asked to speak. We've been asked to witness when there's litigation, like there was in Maryland on the paint cases, lead paint. And so we're kind of an industry expert on the right side. And so we do what we can. Um, it's what's difficult is the competition, because it's
Yeah.
ugly and they'll do anything. And it's like, I don't want to put a bad name on it, but big TV advertisers for attorneys.
Yes. Yep.
They get that same environment, that same kind of reputation. I know that I have such a blessed network of attorneys across the country, because which you and I travel all the time, and we know
Yep.
so many of them, that I know I can call them and say, or somebody asked me, hey, do you know somebody in Lexington, Kentucky? I absolutely do.
Yep.
Let me send you somebody. And if I don't know somebody personally, I know somebody who does, just because of our network, our legal family, as I call it.
Sure. Yep.
And so we're out there. I can say that this whole John Oliver thing has just been incredible for our business. We have been just inundated with new requests, and
That's great.
People now are shedding a light saying, I didn't know you existed, or we do exist, and we're high up on the search, the SEOs, but it's hard to beat a jingle,
It is
you
hard to
know?
beat a jingle. I was talking to Brian about this too, Gorelli, and a lot of his competitors are also TV advertisers. They're the ones up late. They're spending a lot of ads dollars and driving a lot of this, and they are the ones who are doing it the wrong way. And it seems the ones who are doing it in the right way are kind of in the shadows a little bit and really kind of boutique tight knit. I'm boutique tight knit. I'm not out
Yep.
spending a ton of advertising dollars. I'm boots on the ground, just like you're boots on the ground. We go to
Yeah.
conferences, we network, we build face to face relationships.
Yeah.
Do you think, though, that there could be some kind of counter offensive there where maybe, I'm just thinking hypothetically, maybe there is a group that does some kind of media push of saying, hey, look, there is another side of this that isn't as ugly as what you see on TV, and maybe this is a potential now where you could even get more gains on that momentum of what you're seeing, like with your LinkedIn post and some of your other things, or maybe even reach out to John Oliver and say, hey, look, I'm on the other side of this. I would love to be on for an interview.
It's funny that some of your exact words have come from some of my best referring brokers here in California. I have some incredible friends. I call them friends, but they're also business associates. And they've said, you need to call him. You need to call his people. You need to do this. And they have come to us and said, I'll write an article with you. I'll be your testament. I will say,
Yeah.
and I'm talking some powerhouses, big
Yep.
people that, and I don't want to drop a name until my articles are written and all that. But when I do, they're going to be people like, okay,
Awesome.
and I'm lucky that I work for an organization, and that's the reason I've stayed here. I mean, when I was in banking, I loved doing what I do because I had a lot of control and I was able to help people get their business started, their practice started. I would see them grow and flourish. But when banking started to change for me, it became big conglomerate. It wasn't the guy sitting across the desk who approved your loan. It was that, well, let me go send it to corporate and we'll be back in 3 to 5 days. When it lost the human element, I was kind of like, meh. So I made the decision to get out. And that was kind of similar to this. And so when I was looking for something new, I found a family owned business. So David Merowitz, who owns the company, it's family owned and operated, 26 years. I've been with them coming 17 years this year. I feel like it to me, it's home, it's family.
Yeah, you could tell you're passionate about this. It's like
What?
it really comes through when you're talking about this, because I don't think someone on the other side could be on this podcast talking to me and be genuine about the words that are coming out of their mouths. Where you could tell you're 100% genuine. When do you think some of those articles are going to start coming out?
We're flushing them out now.
Okay.
We've got my media team with Dave. Just add a little bit to David. David's son, Zach Merowitz, who is a marketing genius, who's worked for some of the biggest companies right out of college, Google, Adobe.
Sure.
So he has incredible training and just process. And so he's come on board to take over the company because I'm trying to retire, but
you can't retire.
That's what I keep hearing. I hear that from my.
You never retire.
And I won't, because I love what I do. I really do. I love what I do. And, let's face it, we don't go to, rat hole places. We go to some really nice.
We go to some
resorts.
very nice places.
We have some good eats. We have some good drinks. We have some great friends on the road. It's important because we do this so much when we are away. And I know you work as hard as I do. You're gone from your family a lot.
Yep.
And I know that, I miss being home, my bed, my dogs. So yeah, it's nice to have family when we're on the road and we all just share.
But we're also cut differently, I think, to where, we wake up every day and we need to do something that is fulfilling. We need to do something like, for me, I like to grow a business, but I want to be boutique. I want to take care of clients. I want to take care of my employees. I want to take care of the community. I want to help change the narrative, like, for lawyers, for the lawyers who are doing it the right way. And like, I take great pride in the clients that I have that are past AAJ presidents, leadership, future president. Like, I take a lot of great pride in that. And that's why I get out of bed. And I can tell you, I don't think I will ever really retire. I'm kind of just like you, because people are still going to call me, hey, what do you think?
Yeah.
And that's going to fuel that fire of I just love it. It's so
Yeah.
much fun.
I totally feel you. I was in pre-settlement funding 20 years ago, and I still feel the same way like Brian. So, and
Yep.
it's nice to have somebody like Brian who thinks like me 20 years later,
Yeah.
that I feel comfortable. And Brian's team is great. And, I know all his girls, they see them all the time across the country. And, there are those businesses, and you're one of them. And it's just not your business. It's your whole acumen. It's you as a human being.
Yep.
And I think that's why AAJ is such a compassionate organization that we all like to be a part of, because we are looking out for those who can't speak for themselves.
We are. Yep.
And so for us, it's going to be good. And I think these articles will come out. And I'm hoping that, I live out in California, so I'm hoping I've got one of my attorney friends out here who knows somebody on John Oliver's staff or somebody at HBO.
I'm sure we can reach out. I'm sure Ray at Rebuttal knows somebody who can get in touch.
I think you and I should you should have John Oliver on, and I'll be a guest too.
Hey, there we go. Let's do it.
Let's do a little party.
He would do. I think he would be into something like that. Maybe.
Well, I think he would too. Especially he's an LA guy and lawyers, and he would get off on some of that stuff too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, he would. I'm going to reach out to him. Hey, what's the worst that can happen?
Exactly.
This is one thing everyone needs to learn in life. You do not get anything unless you ask for it. No one is just going to give you something. You need to ask for it. This goes back to like 2017. I'm a young kid in this industry. Link building is a big thing in SEO. It always has been. It still is. But back then, I'm like, hey, what are different ways? And I'm like, I want to write articles on the Huffington Post to get some backlinks for my clients. It'll be great. They're like, nah, you can't do that. You got to be a journalist and stuff. I just sent an email to Ariana Huffington. I was like, hey, I want to write an article on the site about this. She's like, hey, we'll get you access. Here, there's somebody from my team. Ariana wrote back to me and said, I love it. You're on.
Wow.
So then I had open access to write on the Huffington Post. I did an interview with Tad, which, he then became president of AAJ. It was just a cool thing, but you don't get if you don't ask. So maybe I just send John Oliver an email.
Absolutely.
We'll do this. John, if you're listening, let's do it, man.
Absolutely. Absolutely, John. We'd love to hear the other side, basically.
Yes. So. And I think that is really cool too about our industry, the people that we run with. It is very much our clients buy into people. They don't buy into names. And I think that needs to happen more from a massive standpoint around the world. I think if you're buying into a brand, now don't get me wrong, some brands are great. I love brands. Branding is very important for law firms and local communities and stuff. But in your local community, you're still buying into that person. That person. There's boots on the ground. It's the same thing for us. I think if you pick up the phone and call a national brand for something that could sway to being a little shady, you probably shouldn't call the national brand. Call your local lawyer, find the real person, the boutique person who does it the best way, who is saving money by not advertising on TV, not doing all that. That needs to be a narrative that needs to be pushed more.
Well, that's one of the things that, I don't advertise. All of my business is by referral. And so when I do, advertise by word of mouth, I do say, I don't have that advertising budget, but I also don't spend that kind of money to take away from you. I can offer you more money.
Same.
And regarding my industry, it's very competitive. And when I give a quote out, I'm competing against JG Wellworth, I would say 60% of the time. That other 40% is my exclusivity of my, price relationships with brokers around the country.
Yeah.
And they'll say, look, you can call the other company, but I trust Ric. And I do. When I do my initial interview with a client, I said, I'm going to treat you like you were family. I'm going to tell you it's a good deal or it's a bad deal. And I was lucky or unlucky, I should say. My mom, God rest her soul, she fell and was injured in an accident and got a structured settlement. And so for years, I watched and heard from her how horrible my competition was, calling her and just constantly sending her things. And she said, what can I do? And I was like, I felt so helpless being her son who was in the industry, and this was happening to her. So it became kind of a passion for me when I was in it. It's like, I'm not going to ever have anybody feel like my mom did, and she didn't need the money.
That's a great.
I can't imagine how people
motivation.
who do need the money,
Yeah.
Who are in need, they're a victim. They're like, oh my God, he said he can, your competition said they can do this. I said, they'll say anything to get you to sign. And I'm totally honest with people. Look, this has to go back to court. And that's the other thing people don't understand. When you want to break up your settlement, when you want to change it, we got to go back to court. We got to go back to, it's usually to the judge that heard it and approved it, or at least within the same court system. And a judge has to say, yeah, it's in your best interest. So I do it from a standpoint of, look, I got to help you get the money you need. So we have to build a legitimate case that this is going to be better off for you. And that's also one of our marketing tags is we try to leave the client better off after the transaction than they were before. So the majority of our transactions that we do, 85% of them are partial sales. You talk to my competition, they go for 100% to sell everything they can. That's how they make money.
Yeah.
That's how they can afford, those huge advertising budgets.
Yeah. Do you think there needs to be some more regulation as a whole around this, like federally?
Well, there is. There's the structured settlement SSP, the Structured Settlement Protection Act.
Even tighter. Like, does there need to be some? Because if this is so much in the headlines right now, like, is this an opportunity now to maybe tighten some of that up a little more?
Well, I'll tell you what's happening is some of the insurance companies are trying to do their own self-regulation. So there's certain insurance companies that set up structured settlement policies that will write in their language that if a client decides to undo it, if they factor it, that the factoring company is going to be limited to percentage limits. So it can't exceed like 5% over prime rate.
Okay.
So, and that's built into policy. So there is some self-regulating going on. And I believe some of that is good, but it's like any regulation in any industry, it gets over-regulated. And then when your hands get tied, it costs you more money because now you're going to have to hire a lawyer to represent you at the hearing that I'm representing to buy your payments. Because technically I'm not, you and I, if I'm buying your payments, yes, we can be friends, but it's a business transaction.
Transaction. Yep.
And whenever somebody's 21 and under, I make sure that they have IPA, which is a lawyer, be represented for them. And our competition doesn't always do that. So they get to court and the judge sees this 19-year-old floundering to answer, where's he going to do with, how's he going to pay rent after he sells this,
Yep.
So that's what we do differently. Our competitors have a phone bank, and these phone banks they get a challenge. They need to make 200 calls and book, 10 deals this week. And we don't do that.
You let them come to you.
Well, but I do go out there and we do.
Yeah. Well, you're boots on the ground. You're at the conferences.
Yeah. And it is, and I'll get a call from, Tracy, and she'll say, look, I got this guy. He is upset. He doesn't like his settlement now. He wants to change it. He's going to hurt himself, and it's going to do more harm than good. But I'm going to send him to you. Please, do what you can, but please take care of him. And I get that from a lot. And that's what I do. And I'll tell people, I said, no,
Awesome.
you don't want to do this.
Yeah.
Or look, we do have an option. Let's, and I often say, let me be a Band-Aid. Let's not cut off your arm. Let's just fix the current problem. If it's a
Love that.
cash flow problem and it's only 40,000, why liquidate $1 million policy? Let's figure something out.
We need to take a break from the
Okay.
legal space for a minute.
Sure.
Right? That's we just unpacked a lot of stuff in a half an hour. I think we could talk about this. We could talk
I
about.
always feel this way with you. This every time we get together.
I know.
What time is it?
And there's certain people that I can just talk to for hours, and it just keeps on going. And it's because a lot of it is very fascinating stuff. And I've been in this industry now for a decade or just over a decade, when I'm still learning stuff all the time, and that's why I want to do this podcast and get on vendors and other people who are trusted, coming from our clients use the same people and they're vetted.
Yeah.
I want to get more of those stories and just learn more about the industry as a whole, not just marketing and not just, the legal industry from that sense. I want to learn as a whole so that I can better help my clients too when they come to me and ask me certain things. But let's step away from legal for a minute.
Okay.
You are very passionate about this organization you founded called Paws For Justice. And it sounds like the organization has had a great first year, which is awesome.
Yes.
We're going into the AAJ convention in Chicago. I want to hear a little bit more about the organization, what you're doing with these events. I think it's awesome. And then I also want you to tell me how myself and other organizations can get involved.
Oh, well, bless you. Thank you so much. It all started in this painting here in the background of me. That's my dog, Buddy.
Aww.
And you all know, and I say you all, I'm talking to your audience, Ryan. Trevor Goring painted this for me. And we all know Trevor.
Yep.
Through AJ. He's an industry staple, one of the most beautiful human beings on the earth. And I had told him about Paws For Justice and Buddy, and he had met Buddy. So the story of Buddy is I'm a finance guy at a convention, right? A legal convention. Nobody wants to talk to. No, the lawyers don't want to talk to finance guys. Number one.
They don't want to talk to marketers either. So I get it.
It can be embarrassing.
Yeah.
A lawyer, you seen talking to a money guy. What's wrong? Is he in trouble? I mean, there's all kinds of stuff that goes on with it, right?
Yep.
So they avoid you. They avoid your booth, and then they pilfer your booth when you're not there. So many years ago, I took Buddy to a convention, and it changed the whole narrative. People stop by. They want to see my furry friend. And so Buddy became my best, asset to bring people into the booth and hear what I did. They play with him for a while and say, "Oh, what is it you do?" So with Buddy at convention, it was so amazing. And just, I got business with Buddy there. And it wasn't the reason I started it. It was because Buddy was a rescue. So when Buddy passed, I wanted to do something in his honor. And I knew my next dogs were going to be the same way. I wanted them to be on the road with me. And so that's why I prefer smaller dogs. And I adopted Milo about 6 months after Buddy died. Actually, about 2 months after. And that was because of Tracy.
What year is this? When did Buddy pass?
2023.
Okay.
So just a few years back. And Tracy Wagner, who you know as well.
And I know I've met Buddy because I've seen you. I've seen you with a dog. Yeah.
I'm sure you have.
Yep.
So Tracy went through this with Chips, her little, Yorkie. And she said, just get another one. And I was like, no. And my partner and I, Adrian, we were like, no, let's take a break. And we were just devastated with the loss of Buddy. So 2 weeks later, we were at a shelter and we got Milo. And we had him for about 3 or 4 months. And we're like, he needs a brother. So we got another one. And I was like, this is it. This is what I need to do. And when Buddy had passed, every time I went to a convention, people said, where's Buddy? And it was like happy, sad, happy that he left such an impact, but sad that I missed my little guy. Right.
Little bud.
And so when I decided I'm going to do this, I decided let's bring adoption events when we can, when it's appropriate, when the hotel allows it, or let's bring focus to a local shelter. And so that's what I've been doing. And this one here, this was our first event, the CAOC event last year, and
Nice.
we brought the Palm Springs Animal Shelter to the convention. They brought 7 dogs. We got all 7 adopted within a week of the convention.
No way.
Yeah, it was great. And
That's amazing.
um, Paws for Justice raised enough money to cover all the adoptions, and so that's kind of what started it. And so we started working locally with some of the local shelters that might just need, like there was a local Ukaipa Animal Shelter had a parvo outbreak. We provided them with some funds to help out during that break because they needed help. And we did the dog jerseys, soccer dog jerseys, which have been all over the internet, all over our social media fundraiser.
All those,
Again,
those are super cool.
yeah, Tracy's dog's been one of my stars in the Italian. Unfortunately, they didn't make it. But and I've got some attorneys here in California, Christina and Felipe. They have 2 Rottweilers that have the Mexico jerseys on.
Nice.
The Garcias, and they're law firms. And so they've been a big push. So we raised some great money with the dog jerseys, and we'll be at AAJ. I'm actually at Natley. I was at Natley to roll out Paws for Justice. We've had a huge response from Natley. Those who don't know, Natley is the National Association of Trial Lawyer Executives. So it's the organization of the organization of the organization. So it's all the heads of the legal associations across the country. And for me, that's where I need a market. Sure. Those people know who they can tell me who their big brokers are that support their organizations. And so I'm putting together and we're rolling out this year a gratis program that will go to all TLAs, that will exchange programs. We can highlight a shelter in your area, in your home state. And so Colorado's coming on board. Be talking with Cala soon. CAOC has been a huge sponsor. Florida FJA wants to come on board, Florida. So there's a lot of excitement.
I know the folks in Kentucky well.
Oh yeah, and they will too. I mean,
good.
Marissa's. I mean, she's my sister.
Yeah, she's awesome.
You know? She's one of the most wonderful people in the world. But she is like a lot like me. You know, we're trying to slowly exit out the door, but I'm never going to leave. So that's, you know, right. That's the other reason I did this. I love what I do, but I don't want to keep doing it. I don't want to have to keep dealing with clients. They're wonderful people.
Yep.
They've been my bread and butter, and they've made me very successful. But it's time I want to save more animals. And that's what I want to do in my retirement. So, but I love my legal family because number one, they're the most generous people in the world. They're outpouring.
Oh, absolutely.
To support what we're doing is they love it. You know, all I have to do at any convention is I post $100 donation covers food for this long, $500 covers this for this long. You don't know how many donations at $500 is here. Boom. This is a great cause. So it's really wonderful. I'm couldn't be happier. And it's what I want to do. Like I say, long term in the old age. I mean, I'm 66 now. I'm going to be around for a lot longer.
You're going to be here for a long time, brother.
Yeah. And I'd love to have GAVL involved. I'd love to.
You will be involved. Yep.
Let's talk more about it. But yeah, you can check us out at pawsforjustice.org. We have a website refresh coming up and a new social media campaign coming on. I've been wonderful. Ice Pop, which is a marketing company out here in California, has taken us on to help support our website and do our social marketing. And so we have so many people believing in us and helping us out, get up and going. And I love it because it's brought me to a whole new level of attention in shelter industry. I'm attending classes online mostly, but through bestfriends.org to learn about shelter management, because it's important to me where my money's going, that it's being appropriately handled, the funds being
Absolutely.
raised.
Yep.
And there are a lot of shelters out there that are, not handled appropriately. So I want to make sure that we as an organization are doing the right things too. So
That is so
that's Paws
great.
for Justice.
How many conferences are you hoping to get this in every year? Or is it just, hey, let's get it in as many as we can? Because there's,
I'd
as we
love
know,
to.
there's a lot of state TLA annual conventions. We got
It
AHA.
is. The thing about it is it's logistics. It's
Yeah,
like, okay, great. We could be at every convention, but not every hotel has animal space or allows that they can bring one in, or there has to be certain requirements. So I want to roll it out slow. And we did the first announcement to the Natlee people, because that's what I want to do. I want to work with the state organizations first. That's going to help us.
sure.
That's my target. Okay. So with Natlee, it's communicating with those people, and we can do a lot through social media, through website, just announcing. We can run fundraising programs through social media targeted to areas. So I want it to be a slow and go and not be a train wreck, because I've seen it happen too often.
Yeah. Yep.
And I'm blessed to say on my board is Jessica Stock, she is a lawyer who helped me with bring the idea to life. Tracy Wagner, who's on my board of directors, and also Liz Zweibel and Dean Damon are on my board. I've got some, animal lovers that are supporting us and helping us, and so many law firms who've become members that it's wonderful.
That was great,
So,
Ric.
thank you.
All the best to you. I do want to now go into what is my favorite segment of the podcast. And we're cooking here. This is going to be a long pod, but I think everyone's going to enjoy it because there's a lot of great information. I think you could do your own podcast, Ric, just talking about all the ins and outs, but it's a lot of time. It takes.
I understand that, but you know what? Let's do it. Help me set up pet podcast. Okay.
I will. Let's do it. Let's do it. Well, we will
Seriously.
talk about this. Absolutely. Before we wrap up, we're going to switch gears into a segment we like to call our rapid fire round.
Ooh,
Just
okay.
a few lighter, off the cuff questions.
Okay.
You don't have to go on crazy long. I know you and I can both be long winded with our responses, and it can be tough to do quick fire. I was just on some quick fire on the last podcast. I had Mariah, who you've met through emails. She did a switcheroo, and she kind of hosted the podcast and interviewed me a little bit, and I can talk. I'll tell you what. So this is going to be difficult. You ready?
Let's do it.
First question is going to be super simple for you, though. Dog person or cat person?
Dog.
Dog.
But you know what? My neighbor across the street just got 2 kittens, and I am smitten with kittens.
You like the kittens?
Oh, I do. They're so adorable, but they're temperamental. My dogs, they want love all the time. Cats, I'll love you for 2 minutes, and then I don't want to see you for an hour.
Yep.
I need reaffirmation.
I agree. I'm a dog person. I'm allergic to cats, so I kind of makes it a little easier for me. But
I am too, but they're worth the sniffle. They're worth the red eye.
Yeah. So favorite city for a legal conference?
Ooh. You know what's funny? They're going to be the opposite ends of the country, either Vancouver or Miami. I've always enjoyed those 2 cities.
Miami is great.
Although this past one at AAJ at Coronado Island was pretty hard to beat because the weather was just primo, But I love Vancouver.
I've never been to Vancouver. I would love to go.
Beautiful. In Miami, there's always the problem with Miami is just so many venues, and when we do have events there, there's a cocktail party at this hotel, and there's one at this hotel, and
you're getting around
Miami. Yeah, getting around Miami can be tough. I
love Chicago. And I'm glad we're going. AAJ is going to Chicago. I love Chicago and Boston. Those are my two favorite cities.
I love both great cities.
And I love San
Chicago
Diego
is
too.
always my favorite for July.
Yes.
Don't ever bring just that. Yeah. Chicago, you can only enjoy from Memorial Day to Labor Day.
Yeah, we couldn't do a winter convention in Chicago. That's for sure.
No.
Best conference networking advice. There's going to be a lot of young lawyers and possibly vendors listening to this. So we need some wisdom here.
Do not jump out of your booth and grab somebody as they walk by. It is so unprofessional. Everyone is in their mode. Everybody is in their own circle, their own pod. And at a convention, respect that. You know, they're there to get educated. And I'm telling you, your best business is always at the bar.
Always at the bar and always at the dinner table.
Yep. Get them outside. Find out, what kind of dog do you have? What kind of bourbon do you like?
Yeah.
How many kids do you have? We got to humanize the element of sales, you know, and it's no disparaging to some of the stuff that your company does, but it's these SEO guys at conventions that just like, dude, stop.
It is. I'm not going to lie. It is.
Yeah. It's just so, don't be so aggressive. You get more, you know, by being respectful.
Yeah. Go pick up the tab at the bar. Go go hang out. I mean, that is the best advice. And luckily for me, when I first got in this industry, I could not talk to someone without just like hyperventilating and breaking down. Like I was the worst salesperson in the world. I hate sales. I still hate sales. I don't like it. You know, that's why luckily I have Catherine, who's great. But somehow along the way, people have told me I've become a good salesperson. And the only reason why is because I don't sell. I don't sell. I just talk to people. I hang out.
That's a t-shirt right there. The best way to sell is not to sell.
Not to sell.
It really is.
You.
You know, get people to trust you. Let your reputation speak for itself.
Yeah.
You know,
have fun without them knowing. Like a lot of people think I'm a lawyer until they're like, "Oh, where's your firm at?" And I'm like, I'm actually a marketer." And they're like, "Oh, what company?" I'm like, GAVL. And then like, "Oh, I've heard of GAVL. Okay." And then that leads into, "Hey, we need a website refresh. We need help with SEO. We need to do social media." And then that leads into bigger conversations. My competitors who are like constantly hounding you over and over, they're like, we're two peas in the pod here, Ric.
Yeah.
We're both the same.
Exactly. It's just that those are my words of wisdom.
I love that. Two more. What's your favorite way to spend a weekend?
With my dogs, probably, or playing golf.
I didn't know you were a golfer.
I looking at the 10th hole right now. I live in a retirement community. And so
does Adrian golf?
What's that?
Does Adrian golf too?
He does not. Although we just had Adrian also works for Strategic. He's
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's doing our data analyst and a lot of backroom marketing. So we had a company meeting in Miami in that coldest weekend ever, right during the other trial lawyer meeting. And we had a golf outing as a team, and it was his first time. He loved it. He did great. So now he wants to go with me to the driving range. And
nice.
So yeah,
nice. Get him into it. Word of advice though, man. I got my wife into it for like 2 weeks. And then I was like, nah, this is just hitting too close to home. I need my Mondays in my golf league by myself.
Absolutely. You got to keep something to yourself.
Yep. What's one thing people would be surprised to learn about you? Remember, John Oliver might be listening.
What? It's crazy. Well, it's just because of my age, probably. But I used to be married to a woman. We had a kid. Our son passed away. A whole different life, you know. So a lot of people don't know that other life about me.
Wow, I didn't know that. Sorry about your son.
Thank you. It was very unusual. He passed away of a very rare disease. But I'm blessed to say that my ex-wife and I are best friends still to this day.
That's amazing.
Her and her husband were they travel around the country on those big rigs motorhome. And they
Awesome.
came stay with us for a few days last year. So, I mean, there's not many guys that could say, "Hey, my ex-wife came to stay with my husband and myself." So
That's amazing, man.
I'm a blessed man. I really am.
You are a blessed man. I think
I
we are
am.
all blessed in this industry for what we do, for our longevity. We just turned 10 years. I never could have imagined
Wow.
we would turn. I
Congratulations.
mean,
That's awesome.
I get like I'm literally got goosebumps right now just when I think about how we've evolved. And honestly, you're one of you and Brian Gorelli are two of the first people I ever met in this industry, and we're
Yeah. I
very,
can't believe it's
very
you
nice.
say 10 years. I mean,
Yeah,
I feel like that's unbelievable that it's just
yeah,
only been 10 years because you guys really are a staple. And it's been so nice to see you're exactly the type of companies that should be doing the way you're doing it. And that's why you guys are successful.
appreciate that.
So
Appreciate
I,
that, brother.
kudos. Congratulations.
You be well.
You too.
Wonderful discussion. I think this is really great. We're
I got a
gonna
question for you. Do you
yes.
have a dog? What kind of dog do you have?
I had several growing up as a kid. I love labs. I love dogs. We are in a phase now where I have a 6-year-old and a 2-year-old, and that is a lot.
It
So I
sure is.
told my
Sure.
6-year-old, who's going to be 7 this month, I said, look, when you, and my wife is in agreement with this, when you can walk the dog by
There you
yourself,
go.
we will get a dog. And that will be the time because I am busy. Your mom is busy. We can't walk it all the time. You're going to have to be able to contribute to the dog raising. And that is when we will get. And I think, we'll obviously, I would love to adopt like a 6-year-old dog who just wants to lay around and relax and snuggle. That's my kind of dog, So
Yeah.
hopefully we'll do that and just keep adopting dog after dogs. I love adopting. My youngest daughter's adopted. I think there's a big need for both adopting of animals, adopting of children,
Agreed.
fostering. I would like to do more of contributing into those realms. Also, I mean, if your son passed from a rare disease, my brother passed from a rare disease, I have the same disease he passed from. I think those rare disease highlighting needs to be bigger too. So that's kind of one of my dreams and passions long term is to start more of the awareness of rare disease awareness and adopting and all this kind of stuff. So that is kind of my long-term dream. I love to see that you're fulfilling this kind of dream of yours that is so freaking cool. And if we can get
Thank
the
you.
trial lawyer world behind it, there's no stopping it because
Yeah,
they are.
it's been unbelievable, and I'm blessed.
I mean,
I'm
trial lawyers
blessed.
are the most resilient group of people that I have ever met,
Yeah,
and it's they don't take no for an answer, and I usually don't take no for an answer as well. But very, and that's what we need, honestly, in this country because a lot of people give this flack to trial lawyers, but hey, look, they're the ones that made us safe with
yep,
windshield wipers, seat belts,
everything. It's just
anti-brake, like all these things that keep us safe on a daily basis is because of them. And I don't think they get enough credit for a lot of that stuff.
absolutely, absolutely don't. And it's a great, it's a great family. Yes, we all have our bad relatives, but
Yep.
there's so much good that comes out of it. And the heads of the presidents, the people that, because you and I both know, you got to work, you got to market, so your business, you have business coming in, keep the lights on, and as a lawyer, to keep your practice going while you're president,
It's
while
crazy
you are,
hard.
I mean, and I've seen like Tad go through all that. I mean, he's like, wow, but every president juggles, running a practice,
Yep.
a family, whatever, kids in college, all of it. I watch them all, you know, on social media, and it's like these are good people.
Good
These are
people
good.
in it for the right reason.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, brothers.
Well,
Thanks for being on the show, Rick. Appreciate
really
you, man.
appreciate it. Loved it very much. You're a great guy. Congratulations on 10 years. And last question for you: who are you behind for the World Cup?
Go USA. Let's go.
You go.
Christian Pulisic. I got his
Let's do
bobblehead
it.
behind me.
Do you?
Somewhere. Oh,
I
yeah.
love it.
He is from Hershey, Pennsylvania, which is only 2 hours from me. So
Yeah,
he's
backyard.
backyard boy. Yeah, we're rooting for him all the way. But I love the World Cup. I've been watching a ton of games. What Messi just did, excuse me, what Messi just did with 3 goals, what Mbappe just did with 2, Haaland did with 2. I mean, these guys are the real deal stepping up.
They are. They are. I was a little disappointed in Cristiano Ronaldo yesterday. I really expected more, but hey, he's been a wonderful guy, and it's time to go.
Yep. I think he's tired, to be honest with you.
I just don't want people to say that about you and I.
But I say he's got amazing hair. That dude's got amazing hair, and I have no hair. So I mean, I'm a little jealous.
Well, I still have mine. So
you got some good hair, man.
66.
Heck yeah, you got good hair.
I'm pleased.
You got good hair. All right, man. See you, my friend. You too. I'll see you in Chicago.
All right. Look forward to it. Let's have a drink.
Really like to thank Ric for being on the show today. He's doing really great work, doing things for the right reasons. Strategic Capital is a company that is doing structured settlements the right way. And I think that is so important. And he has built a reputation that is unmatched in this industry, other than maybe a couple other people. But I can't think of many who are more well respected than Ric and his team at Strategic Capital. And kudos to Paws For Justice. Sounds like an amazing organization. We're going to be involved. Look out for them at your upcoming conventions. If you're listening to this, send this off to your state TLA president or whoever's running the organization. I think it'd be great to help spread the word for Ric and his team. Get this out there. Can't wait to see him at convention. I believe this is episode 13. We're going to keep it running. Please like and subscribe. If you can leave a rating on Spotify or wherever you listen to, I would be greatly appreciated. If you'd like to be on the show, send us a note. If you have any feedback, questions, anything you want us to talk about, please let us know. We'd love to hear some feedback, and we'll see you soon.